It's Sunday. It's not a day off from the 100 days of making comics, but it is a day off from client work. So we are going to Alameda! Woo! Olay's Waffle Shop. I love this place. I got some grits and a deviled egg toasted sandwich, which I've never had anywhere else. Delightful. So then we headed to the store, Toy Safari, which I've been to many times. It's a really big vintage toy store. You can see I have all kinds of used toys from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. But they also have packaged stuff, and they have newer stuff like educational toys like Brio preschool stuff, games. It's odd because it has the vibe of a small shop, but it's really big and it's always popular. And there's just a lot of cool stuff in this area. I typically spend a lot of time looking and buy one figure, which is what I did this time. Afterwards, however, we had, this is on the way out. I thought it was cool. They had a nice display of Star Wars figures. And but afterwards, on the way back, we stopped at Kimono My House, which is a Japanese specialty toy shop, which I've been to before. And they were selling pins of mine, which you can see here. And I made a few bucks, and I gave them some more. And so that was cool to re-up. Guess what we're seeing?
It's the squad of suicides.
How's this for dynamic? The lighting, the dynamism. I'm standing. I've been doing so much sitting lately. Here I am standing with lighting. Whatever. So had a day out. Went to the Alameda, which is just an area north of here. About a half-hour drive-ish, 45 minutes, whatever. An hour is what it took with traffic. And we had a good day out. Went to that toy store as you saw, and I did buy one toy boy. It's used. It's a $7 figure. It's from Power Rangers, but he's got this action feature. Are you ready for it? Here we go. Let me try that again. Amazing! He's got a little turbine in there. It's difficult to see, I know, but it actually spins when I click it quick. You'll see, it spins. Anyway, whatever. He's awesome. He's the Phantom Ranger. He is not an American only, although he might as well be, because he was like a side character in the Sentai Japanese version, and they made him more of an unofficial 6th Ranger. But he's my cool figure from the trip today. Also, we ate at a little diner I liked, as you saw, and did a few other things. Then we went to see Suicide Squad. It was alright. A lot of people are hating on it, saying it's the worst thing in the world, and other people are like, you're crazy, I loved it better than Deadpool. It was okay. I liked it better than Batman vs. Superman. I don't know if I talked about that movie. That movie I did not like at all. The Suicide Squad had problems. It was not perfect. The ending kind of, in my opinion, did not make a lot of sense. I'm not going to give spoilers here. But Will Smith was good. The woman, I don't remember her name, the actress's name who played Harley Quinn was good. The woman who played Waller was good. Best version of Waller I've seen other than maybe the cartoon. So there were good things about it, but overall as a movie it had a lot of unnecessary stuff. And as I said, the ending was sort of problematic for me, and it wasn't great. You know, there was a lot of music in it, but not score, but just like, you know, songs, pop songs, rap songs, whatever, which was like okay, but it just felt very much to me like we're gonna sell a soundtrack to this movie, which is fine, but it was just really obvious. So yeah, it's all right. You know, I don't think it needs to be seen on the big screen. You know, sometimes I'll see a movie and I'll be like, ooh, I can't wait to see the director's cut. This movie, I'm like, I wish there was like a reverse director's cut. Like, cut another 10, 15 minutes out of it. I probably would have enjoyed it more. But even then, I don't think it's great. I think it's fine. The people that are hating on it as the worst movie ever, it's kind of like with Ghostbusters. It's like, it's not that bad. Did I like it better than Ghostbusters? No. I think I like Ghostbusters better, because Ghostbusters, despite its flaws, was a little bit more consistent throughout. The first half I liked better than the second half, but it was sort of, you know, it wasn't up and down as much as Suicide Squad, where I'm like, oh, I'm kind of liking this. No, that's terrible. Oh, this character's kind of cool. What's the point of that character? You know, it was just kind of a little bit less cohesive. But that is the end of that. I am now going to sit down and do my 30 minutes. I haven't worked on any art at all today. It is Sunday, and I did work yesterday, so it's okay that I didn't. Tomorrow being Monday, I'm going to have to dive back into some client work. I will, of course, still be doing my 30 minutes. And then Thursday, I'm leaving for another trip. It'll be a fun time trip, but I'm a little concerned because I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days where I'll be away, where I'm going to have to do my 30 minutes. And I'd like to avoid doing that sort of nebulous, hey guys, I'm working on it. You know, I'd like to actually get some concrete stuff done, but I'm not sure how to do that. I'll think on it a little bit, but in the meantime, right now, I got to put my 30 minutes in for today, and it won't be nebulous. So I'll talk to you again in about 30 minutes or more, depending on how long I put in. Here I am, back at the table, as you'd expect to see me. Did just over 30 minutes, finished up the last panel of roughs on page 1, and as a reminder, that means it's my third page done because I was going out of order. I'll show you the panel, nothing super exciting, but progress made. For some reason, it came out a little bit darker than the other ones. I think I might have had the brush on a higher opacity. Not that it matters that much, but basically we had Boots walking on the street. This is her on the Stansport 2, which is like the subway sort of thing. There's someone chatting in the background. I'm not sure if this will be maybe that same annoying guy from the earlier one or just random chatter, but it's her being kind of annoyed. She's, you know, even though she has her headphones on, she's still getting through. I have her, the shadowing came out a little bit weird, made her look a little bit dark and like vampire-ish here, but again, that's just a rough. I also decided to put a little bit of music trailing in over here. So again, pulling back to the page, I have sound effects now in all but 3. I don't know, I may or may not put them in. I have to decide what works better, but I do like that, once again, there isn't any real dialogue on this page, and this just sets the tone of sort of resetting everything going into a new issue. So another kind of quick one. That's it for today. Here's Phantom Ranger. What? It looks almost like stop motion when I do it quickly. It looks like I'm doing like a trick. Like, oh, I'm dropping frames. Oops. Maybe not. Whatever. So got work done this week coming up. I got to do some client work. Like I said, I have 3 work days where I'm going to be hitting my 30 minutes, of course. But I have 6 corporate caricatures among. That's the main thing I have to do. I don't actually have to have it done before the trip, but I'd like to at least make some progress on it because I do need to be done by the end of the month. I also found out that I have some convention conflicts. One I kind of knew about. I booked a convention a while back. Like this is the thing. Last year, I decided that this year I was going to do a lot of conventions, primarily because I'd have put my book out, but also I just wanted to hit it harder, sell more prints, see if I can get more income that way, and just sort of focus on that more than I have previously. And so I was booking shows ahead of time and booking shows while I was at them. Like, hey, we're going to do it next year. We'll give you a discount. Yes, I'll book it. So it's good and bad because some shows that have sold out I've gotten, you know, things like that. But I've had a few issues. One, I think I talked about a while back, the show ended up being really a weird one. I ended up not going for various reasons, and I've heard reports that it was a weird show. This is the danger of doing first-time shows, which I never did consciously, but like it just never occurred to me. It's kind of like a bad business or a seller online that won't send you stuff. Like there's just like it didn't occur to me that there could be like bad conventions that would rip people off. I mean, maybe that there could be issues when it's run, but not just that it would just like literally be like they don't know what they're doing or they're terrible or whatever. And I'm not calling anybody out or saying any names, but that is a thing that could happen, and just something to be aware of if you are booking conventions. If it's first time convention, try to look into it a little bit and see what's going on. If they've been 2, 3, 4 years, they still might be not great, but at least they're reputable. You know, I could deal with someone making mistakes more than somebody ripping me off, but whatever. This isn't something that actually happened, it's just things that could have maybe happened. So this is my fault though, because one of them I booked and it's a 2-day show. Afterwards, my friend announced that they were engaged and they're getting married, and I was asked to be in the wedding party. So I certainly can't miss the wedding. I mean, arguably I shouldn't miss it anyway, but if I'm in the wedding party, clearly it's a close enough friend that I don't want to miss it. And so I'm going to have to bow out of one of those days. And I'm going to see if I have a friend or another artist that wants to take the table off my hands because it's already paid for. Hate the idea of having an empty table there. I'd rather have somebody use it. That's a little bit down the road. The other thing, which is a bigger problem that is my fault, because the wedding one's my fault, but it's not really my fault, you know what I mean? Like, they announced the wedding, what am I going to do? The other one is I was doing a semi-local show. It's only a 1-day show, luckily, this one. And meanwhile, I'm double booked because I'm splitting a table at Stanley's Kamikaze, which is down in LA Burbank area, which I tried to get into last year, but I was too late and I got on a waiting list and I didn't get one. This year, I was like kind of dogging on it from the beginning and I wasn't hearing anything back. And I'm like, I don't, maybe it's not going to work. And I talked to this before, but I eventually got a letter saying, yeah, you're in. And I talked to my friend. He split the table with me. He lives down there, so I could stay with him. So it all works out. It's like, you know, I'll drive down, stay with him. It's a smaller version of the Chicago trip where it's feasible because I don't have to pay for a hotel, and even better that I'm splitting a table, but it's still a time investment and it's a bigger show, and hopefully I'll do, you know, well enough or better than I would at this other show because I'm gonna have to bow out of this other show. Now this is something I just realized yesterday because I'm an idiot, and this is the end of October is when both the shows are. But I think what had happened was, once again, I booked this show a long time ago, like 8 months ago, 10 months ago, thinking, man, what's going on? I'm not going to get into Kamikaze, whatever, blah. And then they might not even announce dates for Kamikaze now that I think about it. Then they announced the dates and I didn't check it because I didn't have a table, and eventually it came through and I was like, yeah, and didn't think about the conflict until just recently. So I'm gonna have to deal with both of those things, and I hate doing that because I don't like to flake out. And I'm not so worried about the one where I'm just dropping one day because, you know, I'll at least be there one day. But the other one is a small enough show, and it's a good show in that, I haven't done it before, but it's a good show in that they advertise. Oh no, this is the one I had done. Sorry, I'm going in circles. But they advertise the local artists and vendors on their Instagram, so they put my name up and mentioned me as being there, and I'm like, and I was there last year. So I feel bad, you know, and more the reason I want to talk to them ahead of time and see what's up. If I can get a refund and they can resell it, great. If not, I want them to at least tell people I won't be there, and maybe I could sell my table to someone or even give my table to someone. But it's I'm kind of bummed that I made that mistake. But that's dwelling on bad. Here, look, remember him? We're back to happy. So let's end on happy. Let's end this day. The day's day 33, and if today, then what?
We've got 67 days left!
That's a creepy thing. And people look at me when I yell.